As we call it a wrap on 2023, our team here, Just Curious, we've been trying to create so much content around spirituality, around Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, and around reflecting and reacting to other schools of thought, other philosophies and ideologies outside of our own comfort zone, outside of our own depth of understanding. And in the process of doing this, I find that many times we can lose sight of our focus, especially when you try to branch off or generalize the type of content that you are focused in or interested in. So with 2024 up and coming, we are going to make a commitment to become a little bit more niche in our type of content that we produce here at Just Curious. And with that, we will hopefully be able to generate more curiosity, generate more questions in the minds of our audience when it comes to Indian philosophy, when it comes to Upanishad, Advaita Vedanta philosophy, and in broader terms, the search for the right questions to ask in life. One way, of course, that we can start churning these ideas, start this debate, is to discuss principles and ideas presented in our scriptures. And I thought to start off this refocusing or recalibrating of the type of content that we create, we would take up a vichara or a reflection on one of the most famous verses in Bhagavad Gita. I'm sure if you've traveled through India or you've watched some cultural or spiritual program on TV or on the internet, you may have seen this verse being chanted or printed on the back of some truck on the highway here in India. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhuhu mate sangostva karmani. This verse is very well known by spiritual seekers, non-spiritual seekers, and it is quoted by content creators, celebrities, politicians, you name it. But the expectation which is captured in this verse, what is expected of us by Bhagavan Shri Krishna? Sometimes when you sit quietly and you think about what is being asked of us, sometimes the bar for spiritual practice seems very far, very high up. Take a moment and try to understand what this verse in Bhagavad Gita is saying. This verse comes in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna, Karmanyeva adhikaraste, te adhikaraha karmani eva. Your adhikara means that which is most suitable to you in your life right now is karma. The performance of your duty is most suitable to you right now. Who is Bhagavan Shri Krishna saying this to? To Arjuna. Arjuna, who is a prince, who is right now finding himself situated on a battlefield. He is currently immobilized because of his emotions, overwhelming emotions pouring out of him, depression arising out of seeing his loved ones on the other side of the battlefield. He collapses, bow slips from his hand, and he is surrendering to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, asking for advice, guidance. Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells him that what is best for you, what is most suited for you, what is going to bring you greatest benefit is for you to perform your duty. In the case of Arjuna, duty as a Kshatriya, duty as a warrior to fight this battle. So he tells him that much. I think that much we can all accept easily and we can say, okay, I have to do my duty, I have to perform my actions, whatever role I have to do. The next part that Bhagavan Shri Krishna adds on to that instruction takes it to a whole nother level. He says, Ma phaleshu kadachana. Ma in Sanskrit means do not. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Kadachana, at no point in time. Phaleshu, in the results of the action. Te adhikaraha. Means your focus, your priority, what is in your best interest is not to focus on the result of the action. So don't set your mind on the goal and only focus on the goal. Focus on the action. Now you imagine telling a person You do actions, you do your duty, but don't go on thinking about the result that you will get at the end. How many of us are driven to do anything in our lives if that result is not promoted to us? Think of anything that we go to buy in the mall or buy online. Now, who goes to the mall to shop anyways these days? When we see something online that we want to buy, it is always the benefits of that product, whatever product it may be, that is sold to us, because of which we are inspired to buy that product or to not buy that product. We are always thinking in terms of result whenever we choose to make any decision, to perform any action. But here Bhagwan Shri Krishna is given an instruction expecting us to do our actions, focus on our actions, and not to pay too much attention to the goal or the result. Sounds a bit difficult, right? Sounds a bit far-fetched, sounds a bit over the top. Well, wait, it gets even more difficult. The third quarter of that verse says, Ma karma phala hetur bhuhu. Don't become the karma phala hetuhu. Karma phala hetu means don't become the cause for the results of actions. This is the literal translation. Ma karma phala hetuhu bhuhu. Don't become the cause of the result of action. Means don't carry the notion that you are the doer or the performer of that action. The ego sense that I am the one doing this. I am the warrior. I am the doer. I am the performer of the action. Bhagwan Shri Krishna tells Arjuna to let go of that sense of doership, of ownership of any action that one performs. So what is said thus far? Focus only on the action. Do not give unnecessary attention to the result. Don't even assume ownership of the action itself. So obviously, a feeling might be generated that if I can't focus on the result is what always tempts me to do any action. And I also can't take ownership of something. What is the point to do any action? Generally, whenever we do anything great in our lives, do we not all want that name, fame, and praise for it? We all want that recognition. That, you are the one who did this. Here's your, your certificate. Here's your medal. We all want that form of recognition for whatever we do in our lives. Bhagwan Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna, and indirectly telling all of us, that recognition for which we seek as the doer of something, as the performer of something, that you renounce, that you let go of. And in this process, of course, very easily the thought can arise, then why do anything in the first place? If I can't receive the name and fame and fortune and glory of doing something great, neither am I allowed to be tempted by the result of that particular activity. So I can't go on longing for that particular result at the end of the day. Then who wants to take up this boring karma? I might as well do nothing. So the last quarter of the verse says, Mate sangostva karmani. Mate sangaha tu akarmani. Mate sangaha tu akarmani. Akarmani tu ma sangaha. Akarmani, not doing anything, inaction. Feeling that therefore I should not do anything. Why? Because I have to let go of my ownership, of my sense of doership, and I can't be tempted by, I can't go after a result. I have to only focus on the karma. Why do anything? Don't do anything. Bhagwan Shri Krishna tells Arjuna, don't get caught up in doing nothing. Don't become a bum, as they say. So when I started this video, I mentioned that the expectation of Bhagwan Shri Krishna when it comes to spiritual life in the way that we perform our actions, that bar is set so high. Only focusing on the action, not giving attention and priority to the result, the goal, letting go of any sense of ownership and doership as the performer of that action, and not getting trapped in any form of inaction. Sounds complicated, right? But guess what? If we understand the context of this message, if we understand the context of this verse and this instruction within the framework of not only what is said in Bhagavad Gita, but matching that with the framework of Vedas, this seemingly complicated, complex message and instruction can be easily deciphered, easily understood. So I'm just throwing a pebble out there and trying to create a little disturbance in your mind. That of all these things that Bhagavan has said in this verse, how do we make sense of it? Only focus on karma, only focus on our action. Don't get caught up in the result. Don't crave any result. Don't go after taking ownership of any particular action. Not looking for name, fame, any form of reputation. And also not getting caught up in inaction, in being a bum. How do we make sense of this? So hopefully I have disturbed your mind. I have disturbed the peace of your mind. And in starting this new year, hopefully we can start a journey together to find answers, but more importantly, finding these types of questions to shake the fabric of our minds, which seem to be dully accepting all that we hear without giving true thought, through vichara, to these ideas and principles. So if you want to be able to think like this, do vichara like this, question, analyze deeply concepts in philosophy, in particular Indian philosophy and our Hindu scriptures, Sanskrit scriptures, then look forward to more content in this new year 2024 with us here at Just Curious. So until next time, see you all, have a great new year, and we'll be back with more such content. Until then, stay curious.